Welcome back to another 10-minute coaching session with me, your mustached muchacho coach. I'm Josh. And today we're going to have a little coffee in honor of sauna talk. We're going to get a little hot today. And something I see come across my plate real often is basically I have 20 minutes in the week, or I want to go to a studio. What do I do? I'm at the gym. Should I use this? And I wanted to throw at you sauna therapies. The main three are going to be a hot sauna, an infrared sauna, and like a steam room. And I wanted to give you the do's, the don'ts, the ranges, the tempos in your week, how often you should do it, benefits, detriments to them, and what they're used for. So you are armed with an arsenal of knowledge that if the time comes that you have a 20-minute segment, bang, you know what to do. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get right after it. The main three, the big three, are going to be your hot sauna, your infrared sauna, and your steam room. And I kind of wanted to rattle them off, talk about my favorites, my benefits, why, what I don't like, why, and then let you make your own educated guess, so to speak. So first things first, we have the hot sauna, and that's going to be somewhere between, now, the data I found says 170 to 195, so I wanted to make sure I give you what I found quickly when I researched. However, I prefer 185 to about 215. A little bit hotter here, you might have to work up to it, but that being said, that 180, 190 is a sweet range. Most public ones will get to about 180, 190. It's going to be rare that you find something closer to like 200, but that's your hot sauna. When it comes to an infrared sauna, it's a little bit different. And the best way to think about it is it's apples to oranges in comparison. They are not the same. The heat is not the same. An infrared sauna is only going to get you to about 120 to 150, and 150 like the good ones. And it's more so than about heat and the sweat that you're getting. It's about intra versus extracellular health. So hot sauna is going to be really good for stress, for cardiovascular boosts, for like good detoxing in terms of sweat. An infrared sauna is going to be more about inflammation, mitochondrial support, and like joint and skin benefits. Now, what we mean by that when I say mitochondrial support, that's the power plant of the actual cell. So an infrared sauna is more about what's going on within a cell membrane, where while a hot sauna will have a little bit of that, it'll help a little bit, it is not nearly as effective as infrared. The big kicker is the hot sauna is going to give you this big flush of sweat, really great for detoxing, really great for cardiovascular boost. It challenges the heart to sit and keep the air conditioning on in something like that for so long. Where the infrared sauna is not as challenging to sit in. You could do longer bouts, 20 to 40, 45 minutes on some programs. But it's also a little bit of a mind game for the fact of some people feel they're not getting anything out of it, but they are. I cannot stress that enough. It's just different. A big note for hot sauna is you're going to get kind of this feeling at some point where it's, I can't make it anymore. There is a stress response to a hot sauna, which is very potent, it's very powerful, and it's a very good thing. And when we teach, whether it's youth or adults, to start to learn how to control stress and their adaptation to stress, because that's part of training, we need to find ways to introduce stress to the system to get them to be able to process and work through it. And this is one of the big games when we talk about cold therapies, getting people to jump into a cold pool. They freak out, oh my God, oh, it's so cold, oh my God. If you can start to learn to be calm in those situations, you're teaching your nervous system how to be calm out in the world. So when something happens, you're easy peasy, baby. This same stimuli is done in a hot sauna. You will not get that from an infrared sauna. Sitting in 140 degrees, yeah, it's hot, but it's like a sweaty day. You're sitting there and you're like, all right, I'm ready to be done. A hot sauna, you get to the point where you're like, I might throw up or pass out being in here. I've got to get out. That's where we flirt with the line of pushing ourselves through. Now, the last piece to this, when we talk about temperature and kind of what we're looking for, is that steam room. And I know a lot of people love a steam room. Unfortunately, you guys are going to hate me. I hate a steam room. The amount of bacteria and the cleanliness of a steam room is very risky. I've had athlete's foot, different bronchial problems, and the number of times that a steam room has bitten me in the butt is bad. So, for those who do love it or want to try it, let's talk about it. Our heat is going to be much lower because let's face it, you're getting hot steam and you're putting it on your skin, so you're going to burn yourself at some point. So it's only between 110 and 120. But it's really good for your skin and for your hair. Sometimes there'll be eucalyptus in some of them that'll help get breathing ways open, help allow you to open up your sinuses. And there's a really good, almost like sitting in like a hot tub, the muscle loosening component to it is a pretty potent. Steam rooms, however, because of how you're breathing in that wet air, makes you feel constricted with the heat, which will give you the same stress response as a hot sauna. So there is that benefit, kind of double dipping, whether you're in hot sauna or steam room, that you'll get the, oh my God, I have to get out of here. If you learn to fight through it, sit, breath as we go through it, you will be able to start to monitor and kind of control your cortisol response, your stress response. Things with the steam room, I'll just say it right out the gate. You must wear some sandals or something on the floor. Do not sit right on tile for skin, for MRSA, staph, all that good stuff. You can't guarantee when the last time it was cleaned. So just don't sit in like bare on it. A lot of people do. Absolutely not. So just kind of like straight out the gate. As for any of these heat therapies, I need to be clear, you must hydrate. A hot sauna is going to have the biggest sweat response, with a steam room actually doing pretty well for you in terms of sweat, but you can't see it because like the steam sitting on you kind of masks your own body's air conditioning, right? What I usually recommend is you're doing your workout, you're drinking normal water, a glass of water, like 8 ounces before you go in, and then bring water in with you. You are going to lose more water than you can drink in this moment when you're sitting in a sauna. And we're looking at hot saunas, let's say between that 15 and 30-minute mark. I wouldn't recommend anyone does more than 20 minutes unless you're now more of a seasoned vet at all of this. But I want you drinking that 8 ounces of water before. You're going to have an 8 ounces of water while you're in there. And then when you finish, walk over to the water fountain, fill your cup or water bottle, and get another 8 ounces. You are still going to lose weight. I like to do longer timetables. I'm more advanced with this, been doing it for years, and I'll talk about it here in a second. But what I like to do is do a weight check-in. So I like to basically monitor. I weigh in before and weigh in after. And I don't like to see more than 1% weight loss. In terms of dehydration while you're in there. So I'm going to pull up my calculator quick. Let's do some quick math. 250-pound man times 0.01 or 1%, it's going to be 2.5 pounds. If I walk into a hot sauna and I lose 4 pounds, I have 1.5 pounds to make up in my day, and I'll weigh myself at the end of the night. We don't want to see too hard of a dip in terms of fluid loss, because let's face it, we need that. We need the electrolytes. We need magnesium and zinc and all those good things to help electrical function, to help run through our day. So if I've gone into the gym and I'm working out really hard, then I go into the sauna, still sweating from my workout, then I'm sweating all over the place in there, you have to make sure you're monitoring fluid loss, right? Good note is 1%. For the average or beginner heat person, just go in for 15 to 20 minutes, cup of water before, cup of water during, cup of water after. You should be good. If you have any dizziness or nausea, stop any sort of heat treatment, leave, go sit down in cool area, ask for help if need be. Don't push through. You do not have the same heat response when it comes to infrared, but I would still recommend monitoring your sweat loss and making sure you're drinking throughout it. I still teach 1-1-1 in terms of your cuppage, a big jug, drink it. Sauna and the weight loss, for those of you trying to lose weight, it's a good tool to get rid of water and to detox. But in the end of the day, you're going to go through the rest of your day and keep drinking water. Most of the weight that you lose in a sauna will be gained back. So to use a sauna for weight loss is foolish, but to use a sauna for detox is a very good thing. Or getting rid of inflammation, allowing your body to process some of the fluids that are in you. That's a good thing. The purpose of me telling you all this is so that you can start to disassociate the kind of common themes that a lot of people will tell you and what they're actually used for, right? A big one with any of these, you should not be drinking anywhere around it, at least 24 hours. So I don't want to hear that, you're drinking and then you're going out tonight and you're going to do the sauna in the day to look extra skinny. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to deplete your minerals, you're going to deplete electrolytes, and then all of a sudden when you go to drink, you're going to get smacked in the face with alcohol. Secondly, I want to make sure you replenish enough liquids, because alcohol dehydrates you as it is basically processed into acetaldehyde within your digestive tract. And in turn, we wake up feeling hungover, and the hangover is from dehydration. So if I'm already dehydrated, do you think it's good to go sit in a hot sauna? No. You need time. Get liquids and electrolytes back in your system, 4 or 5 hours, then you may go back into a sauna in the morning. That being said, let's talk about tempo. This all depends on what you're able to get in through the week. And listen, if you can get 1 day of hot treatment in a week, you're killing it and doing more than most. If you can get 2 to 4 days in during the week, you are cream of the crop, with an infrared sauna being the only one where I'm okay doing it more frequently. But remember, the more frequently you do it, the less duration you should be doing, because we need time to replenish all the other sources, right? The nutrients. So let's just say I'm doing a hot sauna at 200 degrees. I should not be doing 6 30-minute treatments throughout the week. I should be doing maybe 2, maybe 3, one of them on a just recovery day where I'm not exercising, right? That's a lot, even for me, and I'm seasoned. The concept that you should just be beating up a sauna just to get the sweat in is foolish. Remember, it is a tool. You wouldn't back squat every day of the week. You wouldn't go and do hard sprints every single day. So why would you do this? It still is stress on your nervous system. It's still stress on the cardiovascular system. We have to appreciate that. The one that we can do more frequently at a little bit longer durations is that infrared sauna, because realistically, it's not as high of a heat. It is more manageable. You're not losing as much fluid. It is more about the cellular health. Steam room, I like to keep with the same classification as a hot sauna, maybe do 1 and 1 throughout the week or 2 and 2. Overall, we want to think of these 3 categories or these 3 types with a specific benefit or best for in mind. And first and foremost, hot saunas are going to be that longevity concept, right? Challenging stress and hormones. It's going to be great for recovery and inflammation, and then creating some resiliency. And it goes back to, your stress response, but allowing you to be under hard or tough situations and not break down, so to speak. The infrared sauna is going to be more about inflammation, mitochondrial health, energy of the system, and its ability to process waste. That's what that means. We're going to also think about skin and joints with infrared, and lastly, nighttime recovery. An infrared sauna is a really good thing to do later at night, maybe 2-ish hours before bed, maybe after a quick brisk walk outside after you eat, kind of as like a wind down routine. We just want to be careful that doing a long stint then 2 hours before bed isn't going to immediately sedate you. You're going to see a spike in the nervous system as you try and adapt. Then lastly, we have the steam room. This is going to be big for muscular health, that wet heat, almost like a hot tub. It's going to be great for breathing. Now, again, I go back and forth with why would I want to be in there breathing the bacteria that other people are leaving. But if you have a private one, maybe a steam shower, things like that. And then lastly, skin hydration. So it's more about the wetness that comes from it and the benefits there. Personally, I would just bounce between hot sauna and infrared sauna, but that's just me. Hopefully this gives you a bit of clarity, breaks it down a little bit to allow you to make an informed decision. If of all of it, if you can choose one, I personally think a hot sauna for me does a little bit more than infrared, but the data and the science that's coming out, it is truly beneficial to both. At the end of the day, I want you in hot treatment once to twice a week. That's it. Once to twice a week, choose your weapon. It's kind of that simple. So can't wait to hear some comments, kick some ass, and get in that hot sauna. So realistically, I hope that brings you back, some clarity or at least a direction to start to apply some effort. At the end of the day, I don't care which one you choose. I want 1 to 2 a week. I personally prefer hot saunas. They're easier to get access to. Infrared saunas are still some new tech. A lot of people have private ones. You might find a studio. We have something called Pause out here that has some good infrared saunas. You could take a buddy. But at the end of the day, I don't really care which one you choose. I want you in hot saunas once to twice a week for the amount of longevity benefits that you can get from spending 20 minutes in there. It is worth every second and every penny you could spend on it. So get in there, get hot. I'll see you on the next one.